Will Wade's recruiting of the 2026 class continues to heat up, and it gets even better from here. The show clause is now over. We got a Rottweiler off the leash.
You are Locked On Wolfpack, your daily podcast on the NC State Wolfpack, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Wolfpack Nation? It's time to get locked in with Locked On. Thanks for making Locked On Wolfpack your first listen each and every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Our Thursday show is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control over your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off of your first year. That's code LOCKEDONCollege at Monarch like the butterfly, money like the money, monarchmoney.com for 50% off of your first year. Happy Thursday to all. As always, I'm Grayson Boone, joined by former Wolfpack defensive tackle Kenton Gibbs. Again, apologies for a weird week. It's been one hell of a week for me in particular. Have you all seen that meme where it's like, what a week it's been? And the other guy's like, Captain, it's only Wednesday. That was me like every single day this week. So we're back here, back in the saddle on Thursday. We're talking Will Wade. Who's surprised by that? The 2026 prospect list for Will Wade continues to grow. And we've talked about a couple of these names in weeks past, but the list keeps getting deeper and deeper, and the talent pool keeps getting bigger and bigger. So I'm going to read down this quick list of some of the most important players to watch up to this point for the 2026 class. We have some thoughts to give after I get through that list. So first of all, we have Caden Samuels. Now, does that name sound familiar? Yes, his sister Cadence was actually the lone portal get for Westmore this offseason. So his sister is already in Raleigh. Perhaps that can have some pull with Caden. Caden is a guard / small forward. He's a high 4-star, fringe 5-star player, the number 18th ranked player in the country. He's out of the state of Maryland. Tony Bryant, we've talked about Tony before, 6'9" power forward out of the state of Florida, the 12th ranked player in the country. Justin Caldwell is a power forward from Fayetteville, so this is a North Carolina kid, the number 7th ranked player within the state of North Carolina. Important to build that North Carolina fence. You have Cole Clower. That's a name that's really starting to pick up here in the last couple days. He's a high 4-star, fringe 5-star guy right down the street in Greensboro, number 24 player in the country, number 1 ranked player in the state of North Carolina. You have Talon Kinney. He's a point guard, currently playing in Overtime Elite, 5-star point guard, number 11 in the country. You have Terrace Bowie, who's a shooting guard. He's a high 4-star player, number 44 in the entire country out of the state of Ohio. Latrell Allman, power forward from Richmond, Virginia, 4-star player, number 42 in the entire country. And last but certainly not least, Dylan Mingo. In fact, he might be the most recent offer. 5-star kid, combo guard from Long Island, New York, number 7 in the entire country. So, Kenton, give me your initial reactions to some of that list I just read off for you.
This feels like when you're playing NCAA and you finally get like good enough to where the top players are unlocked and you just start being like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and add all of them to my recruiting board. This is big time. This is big time stuff. These are big time players. All of the guys that you're naming are top in the state, top in the nation type of guys. And you talk about building that fence around North Carolina. I'm sure that Will Wade has an appreciation for that, but also the best talent just is where it is, okay? This is the hoop state. You've got to kind of secure some of these borders and get some of these top guys. And I'll tell you what, you talk about the connection between Cadence and her brother Caden. Frank's helping Franks, right? 2 Franks just sitting together like that at a ballpark. What a great time there. But in all seriousness, this is a very good start to recruiting for him. Let's get some of these guys committed. Let's go ahead and get some of these guys signed on. Let's get them with the little committed graphic and all that good stuff. Because at the end of the day, it's great to have these guys on your board. But like many of us learned our first year after we did good things at a smaller university in NCAA, you still need a couple more before you actually land these guys at a high volume. Hopefully we're at the stage of landing these guys already because Will Wade has quote unquote speed ran the recruiting bonuses here. So we'll see. You know what I mean? We saw what he did when he was under the show calls and all that and having to be on campus. Now that he's going in the living rooms, Oh boy. Oh boy. I'll tell you what, we haven't seen this type of recruiter on the trail and off the leash since early Kentucky John Calipari. I really see him getting a high level of recruits in no time.
Yes, so that show cause is now over for Will Wade. He has zero restrictions. He can leave the campus to go on recruiting trips, and that's a really big deal because a lot of the lists I just read to you, some of them are not from North Carolina, but they are some of the top players in the entire country. And if you give Will Wade free reign, he's going to make the most of it. I guarantee you that. The level of salesman that he is, I mean, just for us fans, we're just chomping at the bit for more sound bites, and we just want to hear him talk. I can't even imagine when he really gets into it on the couch talking to mom and dad about the vision he has for his son at his program. You saw how quickly together Matt Abel came for Will Wade at NC State. We're already very excited about what he might do in year one. But to watch Will Wade now really get into the weeds of this thing, and the thing with the 2026 class, you're going to start to see commitments, I mean, relatively soon. We're halfway through 2025 here. A lot of these kids are going to know where they're going probably by the end of this calendar year. So a lot of these situations are going to start to rectify here pretty quickly. And for Will Wade to have some of the top guys, I mean, how many of those names I just listed to you are inside the top 50 in the country? I think it was all but one. That's incredible. And of course, you're not going to get every single one of those players. But if I remember correctly, Will Wade's plan is essentially to get 3 freshmen per year. And one of those freshmen will be a show-stopping freshman. I think any one of the players I just read to you can be that show-stopping freshman. So you can instantly tell that we're now shopping in a talent pool we have not seen in Raleigh for decades upon decades, and how exciting it now feels to have the right coach in that system with the right GM and Andrew Slater. Nothing is off limits. Nothing is impossible. These are the types of waters you want to be doing your fishing in.
Absolutely. Will Wade is reestablishing NC State as a national power. That is happening in real time. It does not just start on the court. It starts on the couch. It starts in mom and dad's living room. That's where it starts before anywhere else. At the end of the day, when you win those recruiting battles, I try to tell people all the time, it's never about your X's and O's. It is always your Jimmys and your Joes, okay? Regardless of how great your system is, if you've got the wrong Jimmys and Joes running it, and it's not just, in terms of it's not just about your X's and O's, it's about your Jimmys and Joes, it's not just about talent. There also is a certain temperament and makeup to championship teams. You know, it's not just about, oh, I've had all these top players, because if that was the case, Texas A&M wouldn't have lost the national championship in the past few years. But that's just not how that works out. You have to have guys who want to be here, who want to fit in the system in a certain type of way. You can't, even if your showstopper is a guy that is a glass cleaner supreme who just, you know, he eats glass and devastates offense by just standing there in the middle of the paint. If that's a guy that's your showstopper, he has to be willing to do that. It can't be a guy with that skill set that's like, no, coach, I need 20 shots a game. Hold on, brother. Hold on. That's not your role. So, you know, Will Wade, obviously, he's more than earned my trust at this point in time in the ball game because, again, we're getting recruits in year 0. A couple months on campus, we're getting recruits that's like, wait, that guy would have never came here in the past. So, you know, I'm excited to see what shakes out in his first 4 year of recruiting. When, again, no show calls, no, you know, it's like Steppenwolf said, no Kryptonian here, no lantern. There is nothing to stop me. There is nothing that is going to be reining in Will Wade here.
And an interesting parallel to this conversation is one that we've had about football very recently. I think like as recent as like a year ago, about how Kenton, you in particular, have heard from recruits say, well, if NC State can win something, if they can get to Charlotte, compete for an ACC championship, they would be a lot more heavily on my radar than maybe they are right at this second. In that same vein, think about how pivotal this season is for Will Wade. If he does what he says they're going to do and be a top 4 team in the ACC, make it to March Madness, think about some of these top 10 kids, you know, focusing solely on NC State, looking at what Will Wade can do with them. I see the vision. I need that vision. I'm committing to NC State. And then after that happens, watch how quickly we become consistent in attracting the top talent in the country. It can all happen right there. It's very much right there on the doorstep. And I don't think we can emphasize that enough, quite truly. I think if Will Wade succeeds the way that he wants to succeed in year 1, you're going to watch a lot of puzzle pieces fall into place in a very quick amount of time. So interesting names to keep an eye on for the 2026 recruiting class for Will Wade. A lot more to come, certainly, for both that class and 2027 down the road. Coming up next, we're getting into a whole lot of nothing, a whole lot of something. More on this after a quick word from our sponsors. Our first Thursday sponsor is Monarch Money. You ever wish managing your money felt just a little bit easier? Well, with Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in just one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building your wealth. If you share finances with someone special, how has Monarch helped you stay on the same page? Well, sharing accounts, tracking spending, and setting goals is now made easier than ever before. Do you ever wish you had all of your accounts and spending in just one place? Well, Monarch is that place for you. Take control over your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off of your first year. That's Monarch like the butterfly, money like the money, monarchmoney.com using code LOCKEDONCollege. That's LOCKEDONCOLLEGE, Locked On College, for 50% off of your first year, only at Monarch Money. Middle portion of our Thursday show. Now time for a whole lot of nothing, whole lot of something. 3 topics. We'll tell you exactly where we stand on them. So first one, men's basketball related. We all saw that Paul Embaya, who decommitted from NC State, has now committed to the Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas, need I remind you, comes to Raleigh this year, December the 13th, as if that game needed any more stakes. We had the D5 sweepstakes. I wouldn't say it's a situation where it's a trade or that they even beat us out for Embaya because we let him go first. Paul Embaya is coming to Raleigh December 13th, Kenton. Whole lot of nothing, whole lot of something.
I want to say a whole lot of something, but also a whole lot of nothing because he was never on campus. Like, with all due respect, it's hard for me to build that. You asked for more money. I mean, it's lame. Like, it's like, oh, that's kind of sucks, but not a thing where I'm like, there's something to this. I don't like it one bit.
I'm a little bit torn on this because I think it's both. I think it's a whole lot of nothing because it's like, well, you didn't make it here, so see ya. We're on to better things. We have Van Allen Lubin. We got a replacement in Scotty Abube. We're good over here. We're focused on ourselves, and that is what it is. However, I think for all of us that are very intrigued to see what Paul Embaya can be in D1 college basketball, well, assuming he's eligible, which he might not even be eligible by that point, so that'd be a whole nother factor here, but assuming he will play, we're going to finally get to see what that looks like up close, in personal, and it will be in the Lenny. So I think that's at least a little bit of something. But back on the eligibility point, I remember that's something else I talked about with Embaya a while back, kind of in the same vein as Ishmael Diouf, how he had to sit out. I think it was like 2 games in the beginning of the season. Embaya has played a lot more overseas than Diouf did. So I guess we'll have to see if Embaya does face a suspension or not. So he might not even get to play against us. So if that's the case, that feels like a advantage for the Wolfpack, but we'll have to wait and see. So I think it's a little bit of both, but yeah, I'm going to lean more toward a whole lot of nothing. The last 2 are actually baseball related. So everyone saw that Alex Sosa, our starting catcher, had entered the transfer portal last week. This one was a pain for me. I'm big time Alex Sosa guy. I'm very partial to guys that rep NC State well, and he did that. Kenton, whole lot of nothing, whole lot of something.
Whole lot of something. Who would the ladies of Raleigh now love? Who?
Your guess is as good as mine, brother. These women are lonely now. Who's going to take care of them?
In this new season of Love Island, apparently the guys aren't worth much. No, but in all seriousness, this is a moment where, it's starting to look like, are we poor? Do I got to pull out the Terrence Howard? Do you need some money gift? Because like, what's going on with baseball? Like, it's one thing for guys who like, oh, you might have been passed over to leave. It's another for guys who are starters at a position where NC State, Grayson, when's the last time a guy started at NC State for over a season at catcher and did not go to the show?
We've had a steady stable of catchers that have advanced up into the draft and even the big leagues. I think we have at least 2 right now that are current players in Major League Baseball. Alex Sosa felt like he could have been another one, but I guess as it goes.
Yeah, this one hurts. as he leaves town, I just hope he knows that the women of Raleigh will be playing Mariah Carey, Always Be My Baby, as he leaves, because the ladies do love Sosa.
Or maybe why are you so obsessed with me? But no, for me, this is a whole lot of something for me. I'm very sad to see Alex Sosa go. As I said, I'm always drawn closer to players of any sport, not just baseball, but guys that rep NC State very well, whether it's on social media or out in public. Everything they do is to support the school that they play for. Alex Sosa was every bit of that. He seems like a great kid. He has all the talent in the world, just has to fine-tune a couple things. We felt like he could have still done that at NC State. So it definitely stings to watch him move on. NC State's going to be fine regardless, because we always have been, especially at the catcher position. We have a very talented freshman coming in right behind him, so it might be a seamless transition anyway. But I hate to see this, and it's just, this is how it goes. Transfer portal's wide open. It could be anyone at any given time. I get that, but of all the players that could have left, I was really hoping that Sosa would not be one of them. So this one is a hard one for me. Definitely a whole lot of something. Last one here on a much lighter note, still baseball related. Jacob Duden's been playing up in the Cape Cod League for the summer, and he's been tearing it up, not just as a relief pitcher, but as a starter. He had some comments in the media. Supposedly, he's on track to become a starting pitcher for NC State this next spring. Whole lot of nothing, whole lot of something.
Whole lot of something.
He picked up the mic.
The dude abiding for an entire game, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, inject the Jacob Duden complete game into my veins. Inject Jacob Duden pitching. Give me 6 solid innings of Jacob Duden. This is something I need. This is something. Every time I watch Duden pitch, I felt like that Michael Irvin video where he's like, we want more. We need more. And so now to get him as a starter, this feels like the more that we have been clinging for, that we have been hoping for, that we have been asking, begging, inquiring for. I'm ready to see the dude on some full-time duties.
I don't know what day he's going to fall on, whether it's Friday to Sunday. Friday night dude, though, that sounds pretty good to me. One of the most electric pitchers we've had maybe ever at NC State with the stuff that he has. This has been in the works, and I'm so glad that it's going to come to fruition this next season, 2026. If he throws the way that we know that he can, he could instantly become one of the best starters in the entire ACC, like that quickly. What's interesting is we got a glimpse of him starting. I think it was like a quick one against Campbell this last year. He only threw like 3 innings, but just cooking, and it completely changed his confidence level. For people that don't follow baseball that intently, the mindset of a reliever and a starter are so entirely different. And a lot of times, like, people say that relievers kind of have a screw loose. They come into the game and they're all fired up. They got their tongue out and they're screaming F-bombs at the other team. Duden is certainly not that anyway. He's very calm, cool, collected, but he is a beast on the inside. And watching him get the transition into a starting pitcher, it's a different mindset. So I think Duden is a kid that's really set up for a lot of success in a starting role. And some of us even thought that they could have been last year, but I'm very happy to know that it's for sure coming in 2026. I think he's going to be a monster in a starting role. And a weekend rotation of potentially Jacob Duden, Anderson Nance, and then Ryan Marone. Is that the best 3 in the ACC? It might very well be. So Jacob Duden becoming a starter in 2026, most certainly a whole lot of something. Coming up next, we're talking about March Madness and why the NCAA is hellbent on ruining a good thing. More on this after a quick word from our sponsors. Our second Thursday sponsor is Rugiet. Guys, speaking of some Friday night dude, you've probably heard of Viagra or Cialis. Maybe you've even tried them. But if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to get Rugiet Ready. Rugiet Ready is the next-gen prescription treatment designed to amplify arousal in the brain and boost blood flow. Unlike the usual pills that can take up to hours, Rugiet's 3-in-1 formula dissolves under your tongue and kicks in fast on average in just 15 minutes. That's crazy. Effects can last up to 36 hours, so you can stay confident and in control when the moment is right. Head on over to Rugiet.com/LockedOnCollege and use code LockedOnCollege for 15% off today. That's Rugiet, Rugiet, Rugiet.com/LockedOnCollege, LockedOnCollege, Locked On College for 15% off. Individual results may vary with prescription treatment. Compounded drugs are permitted to be described under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. Please visit Rugiet website for full safety information. Last couple minutes of our Thursday show talking about March Madness. There is a article out by ESPN, Pete Thamel. Supposedly, the NCAA is coming close to a decision on expanding the NCAA basketball tournament. Supposedly, it may expand from 68 teams to 76 teams, so adding 8 more teams. Now, Kenton, based on my bracket knowledge, you can't have a region of 18 teams because essentially you'd have to have a play-in game to get into a 16 round. So by this logic, you're only having 8 more teams playing in a play-in game. So this is not even affecting the seeding. Like there's no 18 seed now. You're just having more play-in games to get into 1 through 16. I hate this, but go ahead and tell me your thoughts.
I also hate this. We both hate this.
2 thumbs down. Boo.
I wish I had 2 more thumbs so I can give it 4 thumbs down. This is god awful. I want you to think about something for a second, Grayson. I really do. How many Division I basketball teams are there in terms of that are eligible for the tournament? Somewhere about 350, right? It's somewhere in that ballpark.
353. I think it's 353.
So if it's 353 and 76 teams get in, you are guaranteeing more than 20% of all of your teams get in. What are we doing right now? What are we doing? What is that? What is it? For reference, college football playoff has 8 teams, and it's about to expand to 16 potentially. People are like, oh my God, that's too much. College football in terms of FBS has about 145, 146. For reference, that would be the equivalent of about 30 teams in football. 30. That's what we're looking at with this. This is, come on, man. Come on. Knock it off. Stop this foolishness. Stop this tomfoolery. Stop this playing around. And I'm really going to get to the real heart of this. It's a money grab that hurts these lower seeded teams.
I agree.
We're going to see less 14-3 upsets if the 14s now got to play another team before they even get to the 3. We're going to see less 11-6 upsets. That may be important for some of us. If you see a situation where the 11 seeds all have playing games, stop this foolishness. Knock it off, man. Knock it off.
This doesn't change the math, but it's not 353. It's 364. So slightly off, but the point remains the same. This is a shameless money grab. And I'm not surprised to see this because they're trying to expand virtually everything. From the CFP, they're looking at 16 or 12 teams that is. Stop messing with it, man. Stop, especially for March Madness. Like, this is a thing that is universally loved. No one complains about it. It's all pretty much agreed upon that this is one of the best spectacles in sports. And I'll reference another meme that's frequently on social media. The guy that has like the stink face and he has the thumb up. It's like, yeah, it's like, this stinks actually. And then everyone else is like, actually, this is the best thing ever. That's what this feels like. Like, you're ruining what is already perfect. Don't do that. Everyone's going to hate you for it. And especially, like, to Kenton's point, you're kind of hurting like what seems to be the Cinderella story by making fringe Cinderellas play an extra game. I don't know. Maybe that changes everything for them. Like, for example, NC State as an 11 seed. If we had to play a play-in game before we got to Texas Tech, do we still make it to the Final Four? Do we even make it into March Madness at that point? We'll never know. But that's why this is stupid, because you don't need additional games. It's already a perfect system. These teams have to win, 6 games to win the national championship? Yeah. Adding a 7th game for like a 14 would-be seed, what is the point other than just shamelessly padding your own pockets if you're the NCAA? We don't need it. I hate it. Kenton hates it. I think it was universally hated online by everyone not named the NCAA. I just don't understand the need for this because, honestly, I don't think it's going to affect ratings or like viewership. I mean, realistically, who's going to be more inclined now to tune into an extra 16 seed play-in game? whoever's watching is going to be the same people that were watching anyway. So that changes nothing on that front. It's pointless. I hate it. That's all I got to say about it. That will do it for us here on Thursday. As always, thank you all again for being patient with us through a freaking weird week that it has been, but back in the saddle here on Thursday, also again on Friday. But thank you all for joining us here. Be sure to hit that like button, drop your comments in the comment box. Give us your thoughts on Will Wade's high school recruiting and now how it will take a step up now that he's off the proverbial leash of the show cause. Give us your thoughts on Jacob Duden potentially being a starter, on March Madness trying to expand for reasons unexplained. Anything else you have on your mind, drop that in the comment box as well. Smash that subscribe button. We'll see you right back here tomorrow on Friday for more. And until then, go Pack.
Go Pack.